Hello, this is Shayna. I'm here reading the Glencoe Carpentry book, third video. I'm on bottom of page 86, talking about preventing tool injuries. The first one that it talks about is to use the proper personal protective equipment, include protective eyewear in the correct way, use the right tool for the job, examine each tool for damage before use. Do not use damaged tools. Operate tools according to the manufacturer's instructions. Keep all tools in good condition by performing regular maintenance. General power tool safety. Here are some basic guidelines to follow when you're using power tools. Avoid damaging cords and hoses. Never carry a tool by the cord or hose. Never yank the cord to disconnect it from a receptacle. Avoid accidental starts. Don't hold your fingers on the on and off switch while carrying an plugged in tool. In addition, be sure that the tool switch is in the off position before plugging it into the wall. Unplug or disable tools when not using them, before servicing or cleaning them, and when changing or adjusting accessories such as blades, bits, and cutters. Always check lumber for knots, splints, and nails and other defects before machining it. Defects can cause a tool to move unpredictably. Use guards on power equipment and be sure that they are installed correctly. Standard safety guards must never be removed when using a power tool. Keep your fingers away from the cutting edges of the tool. For example, do not try to hold small stock while it's being cut, shaped, or drilled. Secure the stock with clamps or in a vise whenever possible. This frees both hands to operate the tool. Pay attention to the job. Always keep your eyes focused on where the cutting action is taking place. Do not talk with others while you're working with power tools. Never talk to or interrupt anyone else who is using a power tool. Always use a brush, not your hand, to clean sawdust away from a power tool. Be sure to keep good footing and maintain good balance while operating power tools. Always use the recommended extension cord size when using portable power tools. Loose clothing or jewelry can become caught in moving parts. Wear proper apparel for the task. Hair can become caught in moving parts. Tie back long hair. Keep working areas well lit. Take steps to ensure that power cords will not create a tripping hazard. Never leave tools or materials on any piece of equipment while it's in use. This is especially important with table saws. When finished with the power tool, wait until the blade or cutter has come to a complete stop before walking away. Make all adjustments with the power off and machine at a dead stop. Report strange noises or faulty operations of machines to your instructor or supervisor. Remove all damaged tools from use and tag them. Do not use. Store electric tools in a dry place when not in use. Do not use them in a damp or wet location unless they are approved for those conditions. Down here, last paragraph. Always use a push stick to guide any piece of wood through the saw if it's too small to safely guide it by hand. Also, never use a saw that does not have a working guard and anti-kickback device. A piece of wood is too small if your fingers or hand are in danger of coming in contact with the saw blade. Never wedge the guard or anti-kickback device out of the way. Page 88. There's a box at the top that's highlighted and it says abrasive wheels. Before an abrasive wheel is mounted, inspect it for damage and test. To test a wheel, tap it gently with a light, non-metallic instrument. An undamaged wheel will give a clear metallic tone or ring. If you hear a dull thud instead, the wheel is cracked or damaged and should not be used. Visually check the edge of the wheel for any signs of damage, such as chipping. Portable tools with abrasive wheels. Portable abrasive grinding, cutting, polishing, and wire buffing wheels may throw off flying fragments, but they must be equipped with suitable guards. Never stand directly in front of the wheel as it accelerates to full speed. An abrasive wheel may disintegrate during startup. Ensure the operating speed of the tool does not exceed the maximum speed marked on the wheel. Allow the tool to reach operating speed before you use it. Never clamp a handheld grinder in a vise. Various construction tools are sometimes fueled with gasoline. These include air compressors, chainsaws, or portable concrete cutters. Fuel vapors can burn or explode, and engines create dangerous exhaust fumes. Transport and store fuel only in approved containers for flammable liquids. Shut down an engine and allow it to cool before filling its fuel tank. This helps prevent vapors from igniting. Never fill the fuel tank of a piece of equipment in an enclosed area. Always clean up any spilled fuel immediately to prevent a sudden fire. Provides suitable ventilation when the tool is being used in an enclosed area. This lessens your exposure to carbon monoxide. Keep a fire extinguisher nearby. Power actuated tools. Power actuated tools are used to install various types of fasteners into steel, concrete, or masonry. They operate like a firearm and use gunpowder to propel the fastener into the material with great speed. These tools must be treated with extreme caution. They should be operated only by employees certified in their proper use. OSHA requires that any person operating power actuated tools be trained and licensed. Different tools from different manufacturers require specific training for each. Workers use power actuated tools should do the following: wear suitable eye and ear protection, select a powder level that is right for the tool and that is able to do the work without excessive force. I'm on page 90. Faulty cartridges can explode unexpectedly. If a power actuated tool misfires, hold it in an operating position for at least 30 seconds before trying to fire it again. If the tool still does not fire, hold it in the operating position for another 30 seconds before removing the cartridge. According to the manufacturer's instructions, immerse the cartridge in water immediately after removal. Do not load the tool unless it is to be used immediately. Do not leave a loaded tool and cartridge unattended, especially where they might be found by someone not trained in their use. Never point the tool at anyone. Do not fire fasteners into a material they might pass through completely. Do not drive fasteners into very hard or brittle surfaces that might chip, splinter, or make the fastener ricochet. Hand tools. The greatest hazards posed by hand tools result from a misuse, carelessness, and poor maintenance. Because of the great variety of hand tools, it's impossible to provide a complete guide for their safe use. However, the following examples indicate the types of hazards that you might encounter. You will also find safety rules in other chapters of this book where specific hand tools are discussed. Keep your fingers away from cutting edges. Do not hold small stock in your hand while it's being cut, shaped, or drilled. Do not use a chisel as a screwdriver. The tip of a chisel may break off and fly away, hitting someone. If the wooden handle on a tool, such as a hammer or an axe, is loose, splintered, or cracked, the head of the tool may fly off and strike someone. Do not use tools in need of repair. Make proper adjustments to wrenches. If the jaws of a wrench are not adjusted properly, the wrench might slip. If impact tools such as brick chisels have mushroomed head and they can shatter, sending sharp fragments flying. Be sure heads are properly ground. Be sure cutting tools are sharp. If they are not, they require more force to use and are more likely to slip. When using a utility knife, consider wearing protective leather gloves. Always cut away from yourself. This simple tool is the source of many injuries. Never strike the head of a hammer with another hammer in order to drive the claw under the head of the nail to remove the nail from a piece of wood. The head of a hammer can shatter and strike a person with sharp slivers of metal. Always wear a safety glasses when working with hand tools to avoid accidental damages to your eyes from flying objects. Page 91, back injuries. Proper handling of materials makes any job site safe. Back injuries, when handling materials, are amongst the most common injuries suffered by carpenters and masons. Lifting that occurs with objects held below the knee or above the shoulders is more strenuous than lifting from the body's center. Back injuries can be avoided or made less severe if you remember this rule. Lift with your legs and not with your back. This means that you should bend your knees and keep your back straight to prevent muscles from being strained. And then it shows an example right here, how to be able to lift something heavy. And then I'm going to stop this here and we'll start the next one.